Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of the Vuga Experience. On this one, we'll be talking about 5 affordable Asian countries for South Africans. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'll be able to talk to you about visa requirements for each and every one of these countries and also give you tips on how I was able to find these cheap prices. Without wasting any of your time, let's get straight into it with number 1, China. Now, China is beautiful in architecture but also has incredible landmarks like the Great Wall of China and so much more to offer. Accommodation in China is actually not as expensive as I thought it was going to be. The cheapest I could find was a hostel that cost 79 rands a night. If you don't want to chill at the hostel and you want a little bit of luxury and perhaps even more privacy, you can get a hotel room for about 1,200 rands a night up to 4,000. Now if you are traveling on a budget, you can actually get these capsule hotels that actually cost 300 to 500 per night. Now, traveling is not just about experiencing landmarks, but it's also about experimenting with food, and China does not disappoint in that department. Next up, we have got Cambodia. Cambodia is up and coming in the tourism industry, and guess what? It is going to blow up within the next 5 years. Now, I managed to check out some hostels and also some accommodations, and the cheapest I could find was actually 667 rands for 5 nights, 2 adults. If you want to go ahead and splash on a resort with your friends, you can pay upwards of 5,000 rands for the same amount of time. Now, food in Cambodia also looks delicious. Listen, food is gonna be a common theme throughout this vlog because, hey, your boy loves gold, okay? Next up on the list is the bustling India. From snake charmers on the streets to the beautiful Taj Mahal, India has got so much to offer. Now, if you want to add a splash of color to your holiday, I would suggest you travel to India during the Holi festival, which is a Hindu festivity held in spring. The cheapest hotel I could find in India was 2,700 rands per 3 nights. Now listen, India is actually the only country that I found during my research where you can actually negotiate for your hotel room. So before you go, make sure you brush up on your negotiation skill. If you're trying to save a bit of money and you want to get a hostel, it will set you back about 150 per night per person. Next up on the list is a country that is in my personal travel wish list, and that is Vietnam. In Vietnam, a hostel could cost you about 850 rands for 3 nights. And if you want to actually make it a group travel and rent a villa in Vietnam, it could set you back as little as 7,000 rands for 4 nights. So if there's a group of people, you get one villa, you divide the accommodation money up, then you're good to go. Now, Vietnam also has some incredible food that does not disappoint. I'm not going to talk a lot about food anymore because I'm getting hungry right now. On average, a plate of food could set you back about 4 to 5 rands, or in fact cheaper if you want to go and eat like a local. And now let's move on to our final country, and that is Sri Lanka. On average, a high-end tree house could set you back about 750 rands. However, if you want some affordable accommodation, you can actually book yourself a hostel for as little as 350 rands a night. A plate of food would set you back about 80 rands a meal, but as usual, I would suggest you try and find the local spots instead of eating in the touristy areas. Hello guys, and thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Now this is the part where I get to tell you about visa requirements for all these countries, and most importantly how I managed to get these ridiculously cheap prices that you see on this video. Now I will say all the prices in this video are based on research done on the 7th of December 2020 for February, March 2021. So if you are thinking of traveling around February, March 2021, the prices you'll get should not be far off from the prices that you see on this video. So without wasting any of your time, let's get straight into it and talk visas. Do South Africans need visas for all these 5 countries? The answer is yes. The good thing is that all these visas are relatively easy to get, they're all affordable, and you get answers relatively quick. Maximum is a week. I'm just going to give you a rundown of how much all these visas cost. However, if you want more information, I'll put all the details, including links that will take you directly to the application forms for these visas, in the description link below. So please make sure you check the description box below for more information regarding visas. China does offer South Africans a single entry visa that will last you for 3 months at the price of 856 rands. Now there are requirements which, as I've already said, I'll put in the description box below, so please make sure you read that box for more information. Moving on to Cambodia and Sri Lanka, both countries have very similar visa requirements, and both of them actually offer South Africans e-visas, which means you can apply for the visa in the comfort of your own home or at the office. For a visa to Cambodia and Sri Lanka, it's only going to cost you 850 rands, and you should get a response within 3 days. Now let's move on to India. India offers South Africans a tourist e-visa at the price of 833 rands. Now I did find a visa for 440 rands, which made me think that the 833 rands is when you are using an agent that will charge you, but the 440 rands is when you are applying for your visa yourself. I'll let you guys navigate that space when you're thinking of a trip to India, but that's the information that I have for you. And last but most certainly not least is Vietnam. Vietnam offers South Africans a single entry visa that will last you for 1 month at the price of 900 rands. Now I will suggest that each and every time you want to travel, try and make it a group trip. Try and get your friends, your family to come along with you and have a great time. It's good for safety, and most importantly, it is very cost effective when you travel as a group, because you can then just get an Airbnb and split the cost up. Get a villa, split the cost up. Anyway, it's up to you how you travel. I'm just suggesting. And now let's talk accommodation. When you are trying to be cost effective when you travel, the best places to stay are hostels. Hostels will offer you a dorm room of about 8 people, so if you have a group that you're traveling with, you can hire an entire dorm room, split the cost up, and be jolly. Sometimes there are dorm rooms for 4 people. It just depends on the party you're traveling with. But hostels are very cost effective, and you get to meet other travelers from other countries, which means you get to make friends in every country you go to. And if you want a little bit of privacy and perhaps luxury, you can always book yourself a villa, a hotel, or an Airbnb. Now, how do I find cheap accommodation when I travel? The first thing you do is just go on Google and type in the country you're going to and look for accommodation. So for instance, if you're going to Vietnam, accommodation Vietnam, you are going to get a list of comparison websites, and you are going to get a lot of options from a lot of different companies that actually advertise for all these accommodations. For instance, Booking.com, Travago, TripAdvisor, Airbnb, and so many more. You just scroll through each and every one of them and try to find the cheapest price. At the top, they always start with the high-rated accommodation that is more expensive. You will have to scroll down, and every time you find one that is cheap, mark it and move on. Keep searching until you find the bottom line. And when you get to the cheapest accommodation, put in different dates to see if you can get the prices a bit cheaper. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Vuva Experience. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Until next time, wake up and travel.